You will not believe when you achieve the things that you're right now putting on a pedestal, the money you want to make, the business you want to have, the outcomes you want to have when you get there, you will not believe how close you were the entire time. Like you will not believe how how close you were the entire time. Let me tell you something. In order to achieve the things that you want to achieve, that number, right? The number that you're putting on a pedestal right now, you've got to take it off the pedestal because I like to think of these goals. Let's say you want to make 6 figures a year, or 6 figures a month, or heck, $1 million a day. I don't know where you are in your business, but whatever it is that your next stretch goal is, right? I like to think of those as bridges. It's a bridge from here to here. Your life looks a certain kind of way and you feel a certain kind of way, and you think this is the bridge that's going to take you to a life that looks like this and feels like this. And this is partially true, partially not true, by the way, but that's a different point. It is partially true. Let's just focus on the part that is true, right? So this is the bridge. If you think this thing is so incredible, so unattainable, so amazing, what are the chances that you're going to be believing in the actions that you have to take today to build this thing? This is an incredible bridge. So now you're thinking, this bridge is probably made of incredible stones, incredible materials. I don't have the materials. And the kind of person who builds this bridge is an incredible human being. Heck, they are a demigod whose farts smell like a field of flowers. I am not this person, and so you start to put these things on a pedestal and you start to think they are unattainable. Yes, they're unattainable to other people, but not to you. But how come when you first start your business, maybe your first goal is I don't know, let's say I want to make like 6 figures seems to be like one of the bigger milestones for people who are just starting out. So you make 6 figures until 6 figures is no longer to even live on. And then you're like, okay, well, I want to make multiple 6 figures. So you go pursue that, and then that becomes normal. Then you look at people who are making 7 figures, and you're like, okay, I want to do that. And then you start to look at people who are making 8 figures, 9 figures, and then you realize the sky is not even the limit. How come? How come things seem unattainable and crazy, and we put them on a pedestal until we reach them, and then all of a sudden they don't mean the same thing anymore? How come the meaning of the thing changes? Can you feel the difference there? That the thing that you're right now feeling what you're feeling, and you swear, Aliana, I swear, if only this, if only I can make this, I will never fear around money anymore. I will feel so safe around money. And then you get there and then you feel fear again. And you're like, if only I can get to the next milestone, then I will never fear and I'll feel completely safe around money, and so on and so forth. Life is very much like looking out the window. The view is the same. It's always the same. But sometimes you're looking at it from a first floor, and then you're looking at it from a second floor, and then you're looking at it from a third floor. Hopefully, the more that you keep going through the same lessons again and again, now you've gained a higher perspective, a higher view, and you can look at it from a different perspective. You've got the perspective of the first floor because you've been there before, and you also have the perspective of the second floor, and the third floor, and the fourth floor, and you have a different relationship to fear. But it's never going to stop. It's never going to completely cease. You're never going to stop having those kinds of feelings and those kinds of thoughts. You're always going to have them. Eventually, they become background noises and you take action despite them, but they don't fully disappear. So, you're building a bridge that is not perfect. You're building towards a future that is not perfect. It's not going to necessarily feel the way you think it will feel. And if it does, it's not because of the bridge. It's not because of the goal. It's because of how you've changed the way you think and the way you feel along the way. The practice while you're building the bridge. If you've changed while you're building the bridge, it will feel like or even better than you imagined. If you don't change it, you're just going to build the bridge and then it's going to be all the same. So you put it on a pedestal, you put the action on a pedestal. So, and let's use a real life example. So we're not just speaking in metaphors. Let's say the goal that you have is you want to build a you want to build an audience, and you want to monetize your audience. And the action that you're taking is that you're creating a piece of content today, here and now. But when you create it and you put it out and nobody sees it, nobody watches, nobody listens, nobody reads, nobody gives you the like, you don't get the feedback loop. You don't get the feedback that this is working, keep going, yay, great. You don't get that. What happens? For most people, one of two things happen. Either they go, this doesn't work, and they stop, right? This is pointless, so they stop. Or this is not working, but I'm going to keep doing it just because I feel bad if I stop. So they do it just to be in integrity with themselves. But they don't do it with the understanding and the belief that this stone that I'm laying out today, yes, it's not the full bridge. Like, I don't just post one social media post and then it goes viral and that's it, and I never do marketing ever again. That's not how it works. But I am building a bridge. I'm building a body of work. It matters that I show up for it like it matters. It matters that I show up for it like it matters. That means if this is going to work eventually, if this is building this bridge, how can I lay the best stone today? How can I pick the best stone and lay it in the best way possible? Not perfectionism, not being stuck in overanalyzing and being paralyzed by that, trying to make it perfect, but actually doing it with intention. So that looks like I'm going to put myself in the shoes of my audience. I'm going to think about my messaging. I'm going to have intention in my copy. I'm going to take care of the layout, the design, if like I'm making a graphic or something. Like if I'm having a client conversation, I'm going to show up to the client conversation. If I have, let's see, and this is a perfect example because this is something that I've experienced. If I have a small group program, I'm going to treat it like it's a huge group program. If I have a small workshop with just a few dozens of people, I'm going to treat it like I have thousands of people in the room. Like it was Lady Gaga who said, to treat, what is it? Treat the bar like the arena or something like that. Like you've got to show up for it like that. Like in the beginning, you've got to show up like it's already done and you already have the attention, you already have the clients, the customers, the numbers, you already have those things. If these things were true, if these things were here already, how would you show up for them? And it's not just because of the whole, please go away. One of my cats here. It's not because you believe that this is like something related to manifestation or whatever. Like I don't, that may or may not be true. That's not the conversation right now. The conversation is because it fucking matters. Because it matters, because when you show up with that kind of intention, you are going to do the best that you can in the block that you're laying out today, but it's still going to be mediocre. It's not going to be perfect. So the most important thing is to be okay with it being a small mediocre action and doing the best that you can still. It's not like you don't care. I don't care that it's a mediocre action. I'm just going to keep taking mediocre actions and hope for the best just to say that I've done it. It's not that. It's not lack of care. It's being okay with being imperfect. Doing the best that you can, and it's mediocre because that's just your skill level today. That's just where you are today, and accepting that. But in order for you to get there as quickly as possible, and this is one of the biggest questions that I get, is like, how long is it going to take me to make X number in my business? How long is it going to take me to get X result? And I always tell people, it takes as long as it takes you to try different things and learn from your mistakes and apply your lessons and your learnings. That's how long it takes you. You want to get there fast, take the action fast. I know this sounds contradictory to what I usually talk about when I say like respecting divine timing and respecting the universe's timing and things like that. It's not. When I talk about divine timing, I'm talking about fucking results. It's your results that you have to be patient with. And what results you produce to the action, but the action itself, you cannot be too patient with yourself with the action. Be patient with what your actions produce. Like I am not patient with I'm not going to be patient with myself if I bullshit myself and I'm like not doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to tell myself the truth and be like, Aliana, you're full of shit. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You are full of shit. Get off your beautiful, gorgeous butt and do the work. That's what I would tell myself, compassionately and lovingly. I will tell myself the truth. But if I do my best and the result is not something that I don't love it, well, I did my best. Like, and you know how many times this very video, I did it yesterday. I made it yesterday. I made the same video yesterday. And I did not have a good night of sleep before. So I made the video and then I listened to it and I was like, there's no way I'm publishing this. But I was still very proud of myself. I did my job. I did my work. I created the video. But the quality is just, you know, I don't know why there's this fly that just keeps, that's been here for days. Literally days, and would not leave it. So many open windows for you to get out. Get out. Anyway, I have 3 cats. All right, okay, I'm gonna stop. This is a tangent. But point is, I made the same video yesterday, and it sucked. Let's be real. I did not beat myself up. I was not like, you suck, this is terrible, you're never gonna get better. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, okay, Aliana, here's feedback number 1, feedback number 2, feedback number 3, and also taking into account that you were tired. So, you know, that's fine. This is what happens when you're tired. All good. What can I learn that I can do better tomorrow? That was not me being a perfectionist. That was genuinely, I listened to it and I was like, the quality is so poor that if I were to put this on the internet, like the person who's listening to this, they're only going to get like a teeny tiny bit of value from it, and most of it is just, it's just a lot, and the time that it would take to actually edit it, it's better to just recreate a new one. So that's just an example of like, I'm not being a perfectionist. I know this video is very far from perfect. I just rambled for a little bit and I went off a tangent, I know. But all in all, is this good enough to put out there? Yes, I think it is. If I just get to the fucking point right now, it would be good enough to to put out there. That's cool. That's fine. And tomorrow or next time I'm making a video, I'm looking at this and going, okay, what can we learn from this? What worked? What didn't? And we keep going, we keep improving, we keep progressing, but it's not coming from a place of I'm not good enough. Do you know what I mean? And this is why it's so important to be able to take the actions and not overthink them. Like don't overthink. I can't tell you, like this is the thing, the Achilles heel of so many creatives, because and spiritual people in general, because we care so much about the work that we do and it's so personal and meaningful to us, and we tie our self image to it. And so we get really caught up in this, it has to represent me well, it has to be good, it has to be perfect. And so there are people who will spend like 6 months thinking about the ideal offer that they want to create, and another 6 months thinking about pricing options. People will stall for all sorts of reasons to try to like hold themselves back from being visible or putting themselves out there. It's crazy. But I know this because I've been there before so many times. And taking things off a pedestal and understanding that there is no la la land that we're building. The number that we put on a pedestal, we make it mean something, but it's really nothing at the end of the day. The goals that we put on a pedestal, they're nothing. The life that we think is so magical and perfect, it's already magical, it's already perfect in its own way here and now, but it's not going to be this picture perfect when we get there. And it's very much, the numbers that we put on a pedestal are very much built through these mediocre actions that we stack one on top of the other. And the only reason we can't connect the dots is because we are not seeing immediate feedback. We're not getting immediate feedback when we take the action. The universe is not like opening, the sky is not opening and God is clapping. Great job. This is definitely going to work. Keep going. Like that's not going to happen. Nobody is going to tell you that. Even I can't tell you that. I can encourage you, but nobody can tell you that it's going to work for sure because nobody fucking knows. So, you know, the only thing you can do is just do it. Keep learning, keep reiterating, keep learning. Like you'll start to see the signs that things are working eventually. Like you're not going to be in the dark forever, but that only happens when you take the action and when you take it fast. Fast, not rushing. Fast means don't drag it and slow it down artificially through unnecessary overthinking, unnecessary fears, doubts, etc., etc., etc. If you spend half as much time taking your mediocre action as you did thinking about the perfect action, you'd already be there. So in a nutshell, take it off a pedestal, take the actions off a pedestal, do what you can here and now, show up for the here and now like it really matters, with a full belief and conviction that it does work. Because yes, it's not going, this thing alone doesn't make the whole bridge, but it is a stone. It definitely works. It definitely works. And you'll build it. And after a few days, you'll see, is this solid? Am I able to walk on this? Am I seeing that I can maybe walk 1 or 2 steps forward? Okay, this is good. Or if it's not, maybe I need a different kind of stone. Maybe I need to use different ways of, bonding things together. Whatever it is, like you'll figure it out along the way. But the action is necessary here. The mediocre, seemingly meaningless action is everything, not just necessary. It's everything. And the final thing I'll leave you with is, you probably have put the kind of person who achieves the goal on a pedestal as well. And this is why it's really helpful to be around people who are making these numbers. For me, like working with clients and or mentors who are making more money than me, clients especially, and this boggled my mind at some point, where I got clients who are making so much more than I was making in my own business. And I was like, what are these people hiring me for? Like, what are they going to learn from me? Because I put them on some sort of pedestal, and I thought the kind of person who makes 50 million a year, or the kind of person who makes blah, 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 is probably, again, a demigod whose farts smell like a field of flowers. But then it turns out they're very much normal. I had a mentor or a teacher who was making 2 businesses, making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Human being. Wow, in hindsight, it seems so silly that I used to think these thoughts, but yes, I used to put these people on a pedestal. And then eventually I realized, very similar. They just have, more skills, better skills, more and better, like more in number and better, quality when it comes to their skills, more advanced in their skills. And a lot of it is soft skills as well. Skills of emotional intelligence, skills in mindfulness, skills in listening, skills in communication, which very much ties to mindfulness, skills of thinking clearly, skills of being able to tune into themselves, habits, better habits, better ability to just take the action, very small stuff that you're like, what? This is it? Really? This is it? And really the only difference is that they did things, and they did things in a certain way that maybe I didn't do. That's it. Like, and even when I think about myself today versus in the past when my numbers were different, I'm still the same person, just more like wiser, more kind to myself and to others, more compassionate, more patient. Um, more of those qualities, but fundamentally I am still the same person. I didn't magically become this completely different being who was perfect, even though those numbers I used to put on a pedestal and I used to think were unattainable to me. And wow, look at that, I have them now, and they're like, it's like bare minimum. I can't live on this kind of feeling. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so, like, please don't forget that your experience of life is life. Like, it's this moment that you're living right now. There's no future where life is going to officially start. It has already started. You're living it. There's no rehearsal. You're going through it right now as we speak. Please don't forget this. So yeah, work towards the things that you want. Get excited about your desires. I believe that desires are important because it's more fun to live life in pursuit of desires that you're genuinely excited about, but also there are spiritual lessons in those desires. The universe tells you to go in this direction because you're excited about it, and then you pursue that and you learn things about yourself, and you grow hopefully along the way. Well, you grow whether you like it or not, but you grow hopefully by your own accord. So I am all about pursuing desires and everything. But also at the same time, you got to know that they're not the answer. They're not the end all be all. And so we just see if you can make it all here and now, right? Even this higher self that you're putting on a pedestal, your higher self is not your future self that you imagine is like, the ego-driven version of yourself. Your higher self is very much accessible here and now. It's who you already are when you are in that state. And all you have to do is go into silence, by the way. Go into silence, stay there for a bit, and before you know it, you'll be connected to your higher self, because your higher self is always there. Anyway, I just wanted to share this. I hope that this helps. I will leave you a link wherever you're watching this for something called Build Your Own Universe if you want the practical steps. that'll help you gain clarity about those desires and the things that make you feel alive, that get you excited. But I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.